trying little.
Japan.
Yo, what's up, guys? This is Raw Detroit, and I'm back at you with another video on today. Make sure you hit that subscription button, subscribe to the channel, click on the bell so that you'll be notified whenever we put up an upload. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into our video installment. All right, guys, today I want to talk about linebacker Jacoby Windmon of the 2023 NFL draft class. I want to talk about this linebacker because I know that the Detroit Lions are in desperate need of being able to grab some linebackers that's going to really be ballers and really be dogs out there on that football field. Now, shout out to Malcolm Rodriguez. He's been balling for the Lions. And also Derek Barnes in his last game. He showed up big time, and that's the growth and the development that you need to see out of your young linebackers. But I definitely think if they add a talented linebacker like Jacoby Windmon to the roster, it's going to be phenomenal because this dude is very versatile, kind of puts you in the mind of Micah Parsons because he's able to do it all. He's able to be a pass rush as well as being a linebacker and can play all the linebacker spots, can play the middle, the outside. But I think that if he's in a 4-3 defense, he would be that wheel. And pretty much you know what a wheel linebacker does in the defense. They normally have the weak side. They have the freedom to roam around. They are normally the playmakers. They're very athletic. They're fast. They're more fast than strong. And they are the disruptors. They are the guys that they send in, like a Micah Parsons, to go in and to disrupt the quarterback. And that's what you need in Detroit. You need somebody that's going to be a disruptor. They don't really have that. They don't consistently get after the quarterback like they should, even though they got Aiden Hutchinson and they still trying to work things out with Josh Pascal and stuff like that. It's still going to take this defense a little time to gel together and get the right pieces. And I think that this team is missing pieces that they truly need. Guys that can get after the quarterback, guys that can cause havoc, whether it's in the run game, shooting through gaps, or whether it's dropping back in coverage. The Lions need that. Now, he's a guy definitely, man, that I really like at the linebacker position that probably nobody is really talking about, and nobody really probably knows this kid like that. But I got a chance a couple years ago, man, I got a chance to watch him play with UNLV, man. And I was, man, this dude is very aggressive, man. Very aggressive, fills the gaps well. And that's what you want to see your linebackers do. You know what I'm saying? The one thing I can say about Jacoby is, you know, he has great instincts. He reads and reacts well. He has an explosive first step, just like a Micah Parsons. Is able to be disruptive. He has great vision, and he is very good at locating the ball carrier. And that's one thing that we need. We need guys that can make tackles and guys that can locate the ball carrier. Jacoby is very athletic, and he's very versatile. Can play as a pass rusher or either a linebacker. Is very good at filling the gaps in the run game and is solid in coverage as well. So when Brad Holmes decides to start looking at linebackers, he definitely want to put this linebacker right here because he can pass rush and he can play linebacker. And I know that's something that the Lions love. They love guys that are versatile, that can do a lot of different things on defense. And Jacoby Windmon definitely is a guy that I would put on my big board any day of the week. He reminds me of Micah Parsons. I'm not saying that he is athletic as Micah Parsons or he's going to be the next Micah Parsons. But what I'm saying is he's very versatile, like a Micah Parsons. So I'm going to definitely link his tape and his body of work in the description, so you'll be able to check him out. And you'll understand where I'm coming from with Jacoby Windmon. You need some dogs. Detroit needs dogs out on the field. And I think if Detroit is able to find some dogs at linebacker, some guys that's athletic, some guys that got speed and stuff like that, I think that it's going to make the defense better. You need to find playmakers. You just can't have guys, just a bunch of guys out there. It has to be some guys that can make an impact on your roster. And I think that Jacoby is one of those guys that can make an impact on Detroit Lions roster. I think that he would be a great linebacker. I think he would fit right in with Malcolm Rodriguez and with Derek Barnes. I think that they could form a nice trio, man. He's about 6'2", 230 pounds, and definitely, man, he brings it. A very aggressive linebacker. Is a linebacker that is athletic. He has speed. He has that explosion that you're looking for. He read and reacts really well. Has great vision to get to the ball carrier, and that's what you want to see your linebackers do. More than anything in the world, the Detroit Lions have to get better. It is a must that they get better at the linebacking position, because one thing that they can't do well is stop the run or cover tight ends. And I think if we grab some athletic linebackers that are able to really, really play, then skies is going to be the limit with the Detroit Lions defense. I think ultimately that the defense will get better. But you have to go out into the draft, and you got to draft right, and you got to draft correctly. You got to look at all positions, but you got to look at the positions that you have the biggest gaps and the biggest holes. And I definitely think that the linebacking core is probably one of the weaknesses of the team, is that they need to find linebackers that can play. I'm not just talking about just anybody, but you need somebody that's going to come in and make an impact. And I think once the Lions are able to do that, then I think the skies will be the limit. And I think that ultimately this team will get better. And I think that Brad Holmes will definitely be looking to fill the linebacking spot this season. You can't continue to gloss over this position, because it's a position of need. It's a position where you need talent at. It's a position where you have to draft a dog, and you have to get that player in here that's going to be able to make an impact with Malcolm Rodriguez as well as with Derek Barnes. I feel like those two guys right there, you can build something with, and maybe you draft 2 linebackers in the draft this season. But you have to get better, and you got to find some athletic freaks at the linebacking position. And I think if you find those type of guys, like a Jacoby Windmon, then the team is going to get better. They're going to get better. And then, especially, man, when they get a full season together, especially like guys like Josh Pascal and Aiden Hutchinson, Charles Harris, and all those guys, they get a full season together, and they really, really work their thing up front. And you find another defensive tackle that can get a push up the front with a limb, McNeil. Then, this thing could get nasty, man. So my biggest hope for the Lions is that they will draft a linebacker this season, and that they will get the right linebacker that will be able to fit the team. No matter if they draft Jacoby or maybe a Jack Campbell, or even getting a Trenton Simpson, who is very athletic as well, and who is one of those guys that can play all over the field. Guys like DeAndre Square. I mean, it's a lot of linebackers out there, man, that you can go out there and find. But you need to find some guys that got some speed. You need to find guys that can read and react well. You need to find those guys that's very athletic. And you need to find those guys that can flat out play. And if you find those guys in the draft, I'm telling you, man, this thing is going to take off. The Lions have to get better defensively. We know that. The biggest hole on the team is getting this defense right. Going out there and getting you another corner, maybe possibly grabbing you another defensive end. But you're going to have to go out there, and you're going to have to go out there and grab dogs. You can't just grab anybody. Go out there and grab a dog. And definitely Jacoby Windmon is a dog. Whether he's been playing at Michigan State or when he was playing at UNLV. If you look at the footage and the tape don't lie. This kid can straight up ball. And I would love to see him be a part of the roster if Brad Holmes would select a guy like him. I would love to see him on his team, because I think that he will upgrade the linebacking core. And I think that he would be a guy that can come in right away and make an impact. And that's what you're looking for. As soon as he got to Michigan State, he was able to make an impact. And that's that same type of impact that you need on the Detroit Lions. You need a linebacker that's going to come in and make an impact. So it's going to be interesting to see what they decide to do, what linebackers they would decide to take. I know, the conversation has been out there before about Brad Holmes not really valuing linebackers early, normally getting his guys later and stuff like that. You know, kudos to Brad Holmes because he has gotten some things right, but then at the same time, he has gotten some things wrong as well. And, you know, that's part of being a GM. You know, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to go out there. Sometimes the guys that you get, they're not going to pan out. Not everybody is going to pan out. But what we do know is that we need guys to pan out for us because we need talent on this team. Until the Lions can find that premium talent, this team is not going to go. The team is not going to go anywhere. So go out there, go and find the linebackers, go and find, just like Sue said, you know, build around Aiden Hutchinson. That should be the goal of the Detroit Lions, is to build players around Aiden Hutchinson so this defense can get better. If you look at teams like the 49ers, you know what I'm saying, they got guys that are good on all three levels of the defense. And that's when you truly know you got a good defense. When you got guys on the line, then you got guys that's in the linebacking core that's solid, and then you got guys in the secondary that's solid. If you got all three of those things, I'm telling you, the defense is going to truly gel. And I think the Lions have had it a few times, but, you know, especially like I think in 2014, when they had guys like Sue and they had guys like Farley, whatever you want to say, when they had guys like DeAndre Levy, Glover Quinn, you know, when they had that type of stuff, and also Slay too as well, when they had that, you really, really thought that the Lions were going to take off. But they didn't take off. So we're still waiting on to be able to get that tough defense in Detroit. So definitely, guys, I wanted to bring Jacoby Windmon to your attention so you'll know who this linebacker is, because he can play edge as well, and he is very versatile. All right, you guys, this is Raw Detroit. Peace.
Brian Little.